In 1976, a Soviet pilot defected to the West in a plane so fast, NATO didn't believe it was real. Welcome to FutureForge, the channel where we uncover the forgotten machines, secret projects, and radical ideas that shaped the future. Today, we're diving deep into the MiG-25 Foxbat, a jet born out of Cold War paranoia, built for raw speed, and wrapped in mystery. Buckle up. This isn't just a story about a plane. It's about deception, fear, and a machine that redefined what was possible in the skies. This is the MiG-25 Foxbat, the fastest jet ever built, and one of the most misunderstood machines in aviation history. But why did it disappear? And what did the West discover when they finally got their hands on it? They flew high, above the range of Soviet radar, carrying the latest American cameras, listening devices, and electronic intelligence gathering gear. From their high vantage point, these planes collected critical information about the Soviets, their military bases, nuclear facilities, and airfields. For the US, it was a golden era of espionage, but for the Soviets, it was a nightmare scenario. Their early warning systems were blind, their air defenses were powerless, and every day the Americans came closer and closer to Moscow itself. What they saw was an intercontinental plane, one that could travel anywhere in the Soviet Union within minutes, delivering nuclear payloads with pinpoint accuracy. Some said it was a next-gen fighter, others called it a new generation of bomber interceptor, and some even claimed it could carry 6 hypersonic missiles. In reality, the Foxbat was none of these things. It was an interceptor designed for a single mission. If you needed more speed, you simply pushed the engines harder. And if you needed to turn faster, you banked harder. But the problem with this approach is that it left little room for error. Pilots had to be extremely precise with their movements. One wrong move and the Foxbat could easily lose all of its speed or altitude, leaving it vulnerable to enemy fire. But that didn't stop U.S. intelligence agencies from pouring billions of dollars into developing new aircraft to counter it. The speed limit may be 65 or 70 miles per hour, but how fast can a vehicle actually go before it falls apart? And it was built with a single-minded focus on speed. It was this sheer speed that made the Foxbat so terrifying to the West. It was impossible to outrun or outmaneuver, but as we've seen, speed alone is not enough. The Foxbat had other flaws that ultimately led to its downfall. But despite its limitations, the Foxbat remains a legend, a symbol of the Soviet Union's quest for ultimate power and speed. It's a reminder that sometimes the relentless pursuit of speed can lead to unforeseen consequences. But it is also a testament to the ingenuity and determination of the engineers and scientists who created it. The MiG-25 may no longer be in service, but it will always be remembered as one of the greatest and fastest planes ever to touch the skies. While most people wouldn't dare attempt such a stunt, there are some thrill seekers who would push their cars to the absolute limit to find out. In today's video, we'll explore the top 5 fastest production cars ever driven, starting with the Lamborghini Aventador at number 5. This Italian sports car holds a Guinness World Record for the fastest production car driven on a public road, reaching a top speed of 217.9 miles per hour. We'll take a closer look at this and other high-speed records, exploring the engineering and technology behind these incredible feats of speed. Stay tuned until the end of the video where we reveal the ultimate speed demon, the Bugatti Bolide with a jaw-dropping top speed of 311 miles per hour. Join us as we count down the top 5 fastest production cars ever driven. They immediately began work on improving the Foxbat, adding fly-by-wire technology, upgrading the radar, and increasing the internal fuel capacity. But it was too late. The U.S. had developed the F-15 Eagle specifically to counter the threat posed by the Foxbat. And now they knew its weaknesses. The Eagle was more than a match for the Foxbat in terms of speed, agility, and accuracy. But the Soviets weren't ready to retire the Foxbat just yet. They continued to use it into the 1980s, hoping that one day they could catch up to the West, but that never happened. The Foxbat was eventually replaced by newer, more advanced designs like the Su-27 and the MiG-29, but it left behind a powerful legacy that continues to inspire awe and wonder today. The damage was already done. The West had studied the Foxbat extensively and developed countermeasures to negate any advantage the Soviets might have had. The Foxbat was now slower, less agile, and easier to track and target. Enter the legendary F-15 Eagle, one of America's most successful and prolific fighter designs ever. Built to intercept and destroy the Foxbat, the Eagle proved so effective that it became a multi-role platform that remains in service today. It was a reminder of the lengths to which nations will go to protect their interests and the lengths they will go to spy on their enemies. But it was also a testament to human ingenuity and the desire to push the boundaries of what is possible. The engineers and scientists who worked on the MiG-25 were some of the best in the world, and they created a truly remarkable machine. A machine that remains the fastest plane ever built and continues to hold the record for the fastest aircraft ever recorded. Something had to be done, and done quickly. So the Kremlin reached deep into their bag of tricks and pulled out an ace up their sleeve. Now, finally, the Americans could study the Foxbat, determine its capabilities, and understand the threat it posed. That's right. The fastest plane in the world had a top speed of only Mach 2.2. To put that into perspective, the Eurofighter Typhoon can supercruise at Mach 1.4, meaning it can fly faster than the speed of sound without afterburners. But don't let that fool you. The Foxbat was still dangerous. It was built for one purpose, and it did that very well. What they found shocked them all. It was slower than expected, especially at lower altitudes. It lacked long-range missiles, its radar was crude and inaccurate, and it didn't even use fly-by-wire technology, meaning it was extremely difficult to maneuver. In fact, the Foxbat was a true analog aircraft in an increasingly digital world. The Americans had speed, altitude, and stealth on their side. Climb fast, strike high, and then get out. But when you want speed, you have to make sacrifices. Take the construction materials, for example. Typically, advanced aircraft were made from lightweight titanium. It was durable, it was reliable, and it could withstand the intense heat generated at high velocities. But the Soviets didn't care about titanium. They wanted speed. And believe it or not, steel is actually cheaper and easier to mass produce. It's stronger at lower temperatures, which was important for takeoff and landing. And it's easier to work with, which meant the Foxbat could be built quickly and easily. So in a bold move, the Soviets decided to build a fighter out of steel, a decision that would shock the world when it was revealed years later. So the Soviets responded with a radical new interceptor design, one that would change the balance of power in the skies forever. Enter the Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-25 Foxbat. The goal of this project was simple: intercept high-altitude U.S. spy planes before they could reach critical areas within Soviet airspace. It was powered by two R-15 engines, each capable of producing 10,000 pounds of thrust. These engines would allow the Foxbat to reach incredible speeds, but only once. You see, pushing the engines beyond their limits would cause them to literally melt themselves, forcing pilots to occasionally land and replace their engines. But that was a small price to pay for the incredible performance the Foxbat provided. And when the Americans got word of this new aircraft, they panicked. But the truth of the Foxbat wasn't revealed until 1976, when Soviet pilot Viktor Belenko defected, flying his brand new Foxbat to Japan and handing it over to U.S. intelligence. While the Foxbat did boast impressive top speeds, in reality, Soviet pilots were rarely allowed to exceed Mach 2.2 during intercepts due to the reliability issues with the engines and fuel consumption. You see, the Foxbat's design philosophy was simple. If you needed more fuel, you refuel. When the Soviets learned about the defection of the MiG-25, they weren't happy to say the least. By the end of the 1970s, the Foxbat was largely ineffective against Western aircraft. The MiG-25 was a symbol of the Cold War era, a time when the world was divided into two opposing camps and the threat of nuclear war loomed large over humanity. As you drive along a highway, have you ever wondered how fast a car can go? The MiG-25 Foxbat was a true marvel of engineering. Its sleek, futuristic design was unlike anything else in the sky at the time. Now check out the top 5 fastest cars in the world, or watch this video instead. It wasn't perfect, but it changed the course of aviation history. So, what other machines are hiding in the shadows of history? Drop a comment below. Should we cover the SR-71, the XB-70 Valkyrie, or something even crazier? Don't forget to subscribe to FutureForge, hit that like button, and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started. Until next time, keep forging the future.